as foreigners? Well, the simple answer is when many foreigners come over, they simply fail to understand Japanese laws, their severity, and the overall judicial system until it's too late. And believe me, I've seen and heard enough stories of foreigners getting arrested that I wanted to make this video for you guys. So when you visit Japan, you don't end up arrested.
Hi, I'm Yugo. I'm Yugo Ishibashi. I'm a Japanese lawyer. I like to consider myself as a trial lawyer.
Okay.
And I'm doing a lot of criminal cases. So today I would like to explain you about the Japanese justice system. Okay, so if you get arrested, police will get you in custody for 72 hours. And within that 72 hours, they have to decide whether to detain you or not. The prosecutor will file a request, and if the judge approves such request, then you'll get detained for 10 days. And this 10 days, it could be extended for 10 more days. So in total, the detainment will last 23 days. And if you're a foreigner and you don't have a permanent residency, it's likely that you'll get arrested and get detained for 23 days for one crime.
Okay.
Of course, if you have committed another crime and if they arrest you for that, that will be 46. Peculiar thing about the Japanese justice system is in most of the other countries you can request for a bail if you get arrested.
Yeah.
So probably in the United States you will get out of it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Probably. But in Japan we don't have that system. You only can request a bail after you get indicted. You can see a lawyer, but you cannot get bailed out. You cannot get outside the cell. You have to stay in custody for 23 days. Maybe after the 3 days you can meet your family.
Okay.
50 minutes each day. And if you get indicted, you may get detained for longer, or they release you. If you get arrested for doing shoplifting, for example, or a bar fight, it's a minor crime. But if you're a foreigner, you don't have a permanent residency, there is risk that you will get detained for 23 days.
So just like, let me clarify this. Okay, we feel like you've committed a crime, then they'll take you to the police station.
Yes.
They'll hold you for 3 days. They don't have to charge you with a crime.
No.
Basically, they'll just interrogate you for 3
Yes.
days. And within that 3 days, if they don't charge you with a crime, then they have to let you go, right?
Or they ask you for detainment up to 20 days.
Ah, so
10
this-
days plus 10 days.
What happens if you don't speak the language?
Well, there's an interpreter,
Okay, yeah.
but 23 days, I think it's outrageous. Some people lose their jobs, lose their families. What happens during that 23 days?
Yeah.
The police will do some investigation and you will get interrogated. No emails, no telephone. And although you have the right to remain silent, in Japan, the authorities construe that you have to be there when the officer questions you. So that's the difference, because my understanding is other countries, if you have the right to remain silent, you don't have to go through the interrogation. So that's also a big difference. So during that interrogation, you have to be in the room with the officer and they will throw in questions and they will put pressure on you. Well, they will say like it's better for you to plead guilty, and they are accusing you for a crime, and although you have the right to remain silent, it's really difficult, hard to exercise it, right? Also, one more thing, the lawyer is not allowed to be present during the interrogation. In other countries, usually the lawyers are with you, but not in Japan. They don't allow that here in Japan. So a lot of pressure. And that's why a lot of people confess, even confess what's not true, and thus the conviction rate of 99.9%. And this is called hostage justice.
Okay, what's that called in Japanese?
Hitojichi shiho.
Like they basically force a confession.
Yes, because if you, for shoplifting, maybe they would just tell you not to do it anymore, or maybe a fine. But if you plead not guilty, they will keep you for a longer period. After they indict you, you will be detained, and sometimes it could end up a year because they don't bail you out. The judge won't approve it. They want your confession. That's why it's called hostage justice.
You're better off just confessing.
Well, a lot of people will think that way.
Right.
It's in a way rational.
What about an embassy, for example? Can they do anything for you?
Well, they can come and they can probably give your message to your family, but not much.